First pick in the draft, quarterback Joe Burrow from LSU, a senior at 6'4", 221 pounds. There aren't many more ways to explain why the Bengals will draft Joe Burrow. It's what everyone in the NFL expects to happen, and it's the best pick for a team with a needed quarterback. He won the Heisman, a national championship, and broke numerous records. With the second pick in the draft, the Washington Redskins Chase Young, defensive end from Ohio State, who's a rare defensive prospect with an elite overall skill set. Young projects as an instant impact edge defender with the upside to become one of the NFL's most prolific defensive playmakers. He's polished, powerful, athletic, and features every desirable physical trait needed to excel in the NFL. With the third pick in the draft, the Lions take Jeff Okudah, also from Ohio State, who's an incredibly talented prospect who ranks as one of the best cornerbacks evaluated in the last decade. He has excellent size, toughness, instincts, speed, and is a high character player with nearly perfect traits to transition immediately to the NFL. With the fourth pick in the draft, the Giants took offensive tackle Andrew Thomas, who dominated in the SEC while playing on the left side, which makes his transition to the NFL a little easier to project than his counterparts like Wills Jr. and Wirfs, who played on the right side in college. Thomas can step into the left tackle position immediately. With the fifth pick in the draft, the Miami Dolphins pick quarterback Tua Tagovailoa from Alabama. When he's healthy, he's a special passer with awesome touch, accuracy, field vision, and mobility. He's a little bit of Drew Brees with a little touch of Russell Wilson mixed in. The NFL will go wild for that type of quarterback. And the sixth pick for the Chargers, Justin Herbert from Oregon. The 6'6", 236-pound athlete with a big right arm and impressive mobility could draw on the West Coast fans while also giving head coach Anthony Lynn a young quarterback to groom and grow with. There are many options on the table, but without projecting trades, Herbert is the best choice pre-free agency. With the seventh pick in the draft, the Carolina Panthers take defensive lineman Derrick from Auburn. This big man has an awesome penetration skills, ability to shut down the run, and upside as a pass rusher. It's rare to see a defensive tackle legitimately triple teamed by opposing offensive lines, but that was the case for Brown multiple times throughout the 2019 season. His athleticism and versatility make Brown a perfect fit for Matt Rule as the first pick of his run as the new head coach in Carolina. With the eighth pick in the draft, the Cardinals took linebacker Isaiah Simmons from Clemson, who can play anywhere on defense, something he showed often while at Clemson and will give the Cardinals an athletic playmaker who can be matchup problem for any type of offense. He's fast enough with a 4.39 second 40 to run with tight ends, cover slot receivers, and chase down quarterbacks, and generally make life miserable for offensive coordinators. With the ninth pick in the draft, the Jaguars selected cornerback C.J. Henderson from Florida, who has ideal size and a very good instincts to play in a man coverage defense. The main questions are his penchant for playing too far off in a coverage while trying to bait quarterbacks into mistakes and his lack of prowess as a tackler. Both can be fixed at the next level. He's ready to be a day one starter in the NFL. With the 10th pick in the draft, Cleveland Browns selected offensive tackle Jedrick Wills Jr. from Alabama, who played right tackle for the Crimson Tide, but has shown the size, length, and athleticism to move to the left side. And remember, playing right tackle at Alabama for the left-handed Tua means being a blindside protector. Wills' workouts have shown he has the agility and quickness in his feet to handle either side. With the 11th pick in the draft, The New York Jets selected offensive tackle Mekhi Becton from Louisville, who at 6'7" and 364 pounds is a rare athlete with exceptional movement skills in the run game and the ability to dominate in pass protection. His combination of length, strength, and agility hasn't been seen at the offensive tackle position the last decade. He's special as a prospect, but there are technical concerns that must be ironed out before he's ready to become a top-tier pass blocker. With the 12th pick in the draft, the Las Vegas Raiders selected wide receiver Henry Ruggs III from Alabama, and they landed the best all-around speed receiver in quite some time. His combine workouts were eye-popping with a 4.27 second 40 and all-around explosive performance in the drills he participated in. It's not a surprise he's the first receiver taken. With the 13th pick in the draft, Tampa Bay Buccaneers selected offensive tackle Tristan Wirfs from Iowa, who put on a record-setting workout at the Combine and answered any questions about his athleticism or ability to play left tackle in the NFL. Bucs fans will love the movement ability of Wirfs in his run game, while also keeping Tom Brady protected. With the 14th pick in the draft, the San Francisco 49ers selected defensive tackle Javon Kinlaw from South Carolina, who is a top 10 player in the class, but because of the run on quarterbacks and offensive tackles, this stud defensive tackle falls to the 49ers at number 14 overall. Kinlaw can play inside at tackle and even kick outside to defensive end at times. With the 15th overall pick in the draft, the Denver Broncos selected wide receiver Jerry Jeudy from Alabama. Jeudy is an Odell Beckham Jr. type wide receiver with fantastic agility and burst. He's among the cleanest, smoothest route runners you'll find in the last decade of pass catchers. That, plus his agility and speed, makes him the most likely to have a major impact early in his rookie season. The number 16 pick in the draft, the Atlanta Falcons selected cornerback A.J. Terrell from Clemson, whose last impression was a rough game against LSU in the national title game, but earlier in that game he was shutting down the likes of Justin Jefferson and the talented Tigers wide receiver corps. The 6'1", 195-pounder played with physicality and ball skills against every top receiver he faced. The number 17 pick in the draft, Dallas Cowboys selected wide receiver CeeDee Lamb from Oklahoma. Cowboys find themselves in the incredibly fortunate position of having CeeDee Lamb still on the board at number 17 overall, one of the best run-after-catch receivers in the draft class. Lamb is a physical route runner with big catch radius and the ability to make defenders pay with his contact and toughness. With the number 18 pick, the Miami Dolphins selected offensive tackle Austin Jackson from USC. After grabbing Tua at number 5 overall, the Dolphins must focus on protecting him after trading left tackle Laramie Tunsil to the Houston Texans. Luckily enough, USC's Austin Jackson is on the board, ready to slide into a left tackle job after holding it down for the Trojans. He does have some struggles on tape, notably against Iowa in his final college game. With the number 19 pick in the draft, the Las Vegas Raiders selected cornerback Damon Arnette from Ohio State, who possesses great functional strength, quickness, body control, and ball skills. Look for Arnette to find his place in the starting lineup quickly, although he may never be the focal point of the secondary due to a lack of elite length to shadow top receivers. The 20th pick in the draft, the Jaguars selected Javon from LSU, who is a truly special athlete and player at the outside linebacker position. The Tigers asked Chason to rush the quarterback, but he was also tasked with dropping into coverage or stacking up against the run. In that way, he's more like the 2019 draft pick Josh Allen from Kentucky than he is a pure pass rusher. With the 21st pick, Philadelphia Eagles selected wide receiver Jalen Reagor from TCU, who's one of the most dynamic receiving prospects in the draft. His skill set fits best when projecting forward into a vertical passing offense as a Z receiver, where he can defeat press coverage, attack down the field, and force defenses to respect his speed or pay the consequences. With the 22nd pick, the Minnesota Vikings selected wide receiver Justin Jefferson from LSU. The star receiver was already billed as one of the best route runners in the class, but after showing home run speed, it's easy to see why the Vikings fell in love with him. With big play potential after the catch and the speed to stretch the field, Jefferson is what Minnesota needs. With the 23rd pick in the draft, the Chargers selected linebacker Kenneth Murray from Oklahoma. He dominated as a one-man wrecking crew for the Oklahoma defense, but has more natural athleticism than many would expect from a player who was so impactful in the run game. He's a true three-down linebacker with speed to cover tight ends, but the toughness to step up to stop the run. With the 24th pick in the draft, the New Orleans Saints selected center Cesar Ruiz from Michigan. He enters the NFL after starting 31 games for Michigan, with 26 of those coming at center and 5 at right guard. A blend of size, power, mobility, and technique, Ruiz displays outstanding mobility, and he is a highly effective working laterally and in space. With the 25th pick in the draft, the 49ers selected wide receiver Brandon Ayuk from Arizona State, who is fantastic with the football in his hands. With the ability to line up outside or inside the formation, he brings versatility and big play potential at wideout. With the 26th pick of the draft, the Green Bay Packers selected cornerback Jordan Love from Utah State, which is a bit of a head-scratcher here, as the Packers' plans with Rodgers and now moving up to get Jordan Love. He is a smart, athletic, strong-arm quarterback who struggled with turnovers on a bad Utah State team in 2019. With a new head coach and most of his weapons gone, Love forced his way to 7. With the 27th pick in the draft, the Seattle Seahawks selected linebacker Jordan Brooks from Texas Tech, who is an outstanding tackler and effectively shoots the gap. At a minimum, Brooks should be an early down linebacker and a special teams ace, but his ability to develop his passing down skills will be critical for him to become a more complete player. The 28th pick in the draft by the Baltimore Ravens, linebacker Patrick Queen from LSU, who's an athletic, rangy coverage linebacker who can stay on the field no matter the defensive package or down and distance. He's got the sideline-to-sideline range to step into a Mike role and has the impact and pass coverage to serve as a 3-down linebacker. With the 29th pick in the draft, the Tennessee Titans selected offensive lineman Isaiah Wilson from Georgia, who's an impressive blend of size, mobility, and power. He has dominant reps on tape as both a run blocker and pass blocker, where his traits simply allow him to take over. Wilson has an extremely high ceiling, but development is needed. He's a scheme, versatile blocker that projects best to the right side. With the 30th pick in the draft, the Dolphins selected cornerback Noah Igbenogany from Auburn, who is a high-ceiling cornerback at the NFL level. With just 2 seasons of experience playing cornerback, he is facing tremendous growth in the coming years as he becomes more natural defending receivers at the catch point and further developing the finer points of the position. With the 31st pick in the draft, the Minnesota Vikings selected cornerback Jeff Gladney from TCU. Gladney measures just over 5'10", but plays much bigger, especially in press coverage and when taking on ball carriers in the run game. With the final pick in the first round, the Kansas City Chiefs selected running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire from LSU, who has impressive patience, terrific contact balance, and good anticipation, and he's capable of functioning in either gap or zone-heavy rushing offenses. With a dense build, he's a punishing runner who will succeed with opportunities to wear out opposing defenses late in games.